visions of a millionaire, millionaire visions, millionaire intentions, making millionaire decisions. I done bossed up, came up off my lost luck. Knowledge, power, how much did it cost us?
Welcome to Vision of a Millionaire, where you was already born with the wealth. You just gotta claim it for yourself. And remember, you are special. Ask me why. Because there's nobody in the world like you. Alright? And only you can harness your gifts, and nobody can take your gifts away from you. Please like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Share this video in case somebody needs to hear this content to help encourage other people to have the vision of a millionaire. Because the vision of a millionaire, it's not about a dollar amount. It's about having peace of mind. Alright? So, today I would like to talk to you about a glimpse of greatness. We all have a glimpse of greatness in our lives. I'm sure you can refer back to times in your life to where you've accomplished things and you say, yeah, I done that. You know, surprising things that you might not have thought you would accomplish in life. But everybody has a glimpse of greatness. We all possess it. Nobody is special or more special than the next person, okay? Because we all possess that greatness. And greatness, it's not about talent. It's about consistency. Can you consistently be talented? Talent is not enough when we talk about a glimpse of greatness, all right? Because once you find that glimpse of greatness, then it's going to take follow through. It's going to take consistency. So then you have to harness that, whatever it is that you experience that greatness in, and turn it into something special, okay? So in order to have the vision of a millionaire, it's all about consistency, being consistent with your talent. Because if you're a basketball player and you aspire to be in the NBA, the only way you can do that is to constantly practice. You're not going to jump off the porch with the automatic talent to be able to be a part of something at the top level without putting in the work. Because the only thing you see on the court when you watch those basketball games is the end result of practice. They're constantly practicing. They're practicing when nobody is looking. So if you want to be great in anything you do, whether it's basketball or business or whatever it is, it's all about consistency. So I want to share with you a couple of times in my life where I've seen glimpses of greatness, and I'm sure you've seen them in your life, and I'd like for you to comment below about times where you've experienced this, and maybe go back and revisit it and harness that energy. It's never too late. Never too late to be great at anything. Don't let anybody fool you. So, my first glimpse of greatness that I can think about was when I was in school, when I was in grade school. And you know, in grade school, we wanted all the new video games and everything that came out. And for the most part, when it came to, you know, birthdays or Christmas or whatever, mostly we got the things that we was looking for. You know, but throughout the year, I figure, okay, if I want to get what I want, let me find another way so I don't have to wait for Christmas or birthday. So then I started selling candy at school. I would go to Family Dollar or Walmart and buy those paintbrush suckers and sell them for 25 cents. I would probably buy the bag for about $1.50 and make about, you know, $6 to $7 from selling them 25 cents a piece. And also I will buy not bazooka bubble gum, but bubble yum. I know y'all remember those bubble gum packages that they used to sell with all the different flavors, strawberry and all that. I buy that pack from Family Dollar for maybe $1 and sell them all for about 50 cents, make about $4 to $5. So I did that on a consistent level, buying candy, selling candy, buying candy, selling candy. And then the next thing you know, I look up and I got about $100 from this. Well, I'm in grade school. I don't have a job, but from selling candy, I'm able to buy a game. And I remember the game I bought. It was Godzilla Destroy All Monsters at the time on GameCube, if I'm showing my age. But, you know, that was a glimpse of greatness because nobody asked me to do that. It's something I just thought in my mind that, okay, I can do this in order to get what I want to achieve. Now, did I continue doing that? No, I didn't. Because, you know, it came with problems. You're not supposed to be selling candy at school, you know, this and that. So, you know, that's one time I can remember where I was like, wow, I was able to buy my own video game with something that, you know, that I implemented myself just because I wanted something. All right. That was one time I can remember. If you ever done anything like that, or if you got any similar situation, please comment below and let me know, because I'm always interested in hearing about other people's story when it comes to having the vision of a millionaire, because the vision of a millionaire is about getting up off the couch or off the table or whatever and putting in work to get something you want with a way that you create. You know, you control the narrative. So yeah, that was that, selling candy. Cool. Another time, if you don't know, I'm from Augusta, Georgia. My rap name was Young Spitter. I pretty much had a rap career where, you know, I started going to the studio and recording songs, and I would say I did pretty good. I know for sure, independently in the streets between South Carolina and Georgia, probably sold about 10,000 CDs. You could probably always see me at your local gas station or Walmart or, you know, Balo or whatever until they told us we couldn't sell something in the parking lot. But that's a huge accomplishment independently to sell about 10,000 CDs. On top of that, I got to perform in front of 5,000 people plus at the Battle of the Bands in Augusta, Georgia. Just by networking, talking to people, putting music in the streets. And the inconsistent part on that was, I remember performing at the Battle of the Bands, it did not turn out well at all. It was literally getting booed. So the first song I did was a song called I Got It. And everybody knew the song. You know, they were singing the song, the crowd was going along with it. Well, they told me I only had a certain amount of time. So I tried to pile a couple of different songs into a little set. And, you know, we did a little practicing. Wasn't much prep for it. But as long as we was doing the first song, everybody was enjoying it. It was good to go. But the moment we switched to a song that was a lower tempo, called She Go Hard, shout out to Mal Mac and Loco, called She Go Hard, that's when everything shifted. Boo. Man, you talking about somebody was destroyed that day? You know, it made me not want to go back and do it after that, you know. But those are those moments where you learn the vision of a millionaire, where it's okay to get hit, but don't get knocked out. You got to go back in and do better and do different and learn from those situations instead of switching gears and saying, well, maybe this is not for me. Because after the fact, so many people ask me, well, when is the album coming out? Well, when you getting back in the studio? Well, when you doing something new? And I just completely stopped doing it because of that bad experience. But if I would have learned from that, I could have been successful at that. I could have kept going. I could have had the vision of a millionaire in that era, and I could have kept going. There's a lot of guys right now, like KV in Augusta, Georgia, that was like rapping, and they still doing it. They still doing good, and they still going strong because it's all about consistency. You want success? It's all about consistency. I seen success. I sold 10,000 CDs independent in the street, right? I performed in front of thousands of people. It didn't turn out the way I wanted to turn out, but I didn't keep going. That was the issue. Inconsistency. I saw a glimpse of greatness, and that was it. It was just a glimpse. And then it was over. I remember going downtown Augusta, Georgia, where, you know, people would be driving down the street and they see me and, you know, my crew, Eric and Derek. Shout out to Eric and Derek. Hightower. And they'd be like, oh, there they go. That's them. You know, really made us feel like celebrities. We was local, but, you know, it was experiencing a glimpse of greatness, but there was no consistency. All right. Another thing that I remember a glimpse of greatness in is selling fruit drinks at the flea market. Shout out to Keith Wilson, the Kool-Aid boys. So what happened was Keith Wilson, we done some music together or whatever, and he always been a businessman. He's a businessman right now. He's currently working on an app and into all type of different businesses. He's got his own cryptocurrency right now. Definitely a businessman and a good friend of mine. So Keith, he was selling fruit, cutting up like watermelon and selling fruit cups at the flea market in Columbia, South Carolina. So he needed a partner at the time, and he told me about it. Yeah, this is what I'm doing. He had previous experience from working at like Kroger, so they taught him how to cut fruit and whatever. And he taught me the same. And we went out there a couple of times, and we were selling fruit cups, and people was buying them. They was buying them. We would sell a lot every time. But there was this one time where we went, and customers was like, okay, fruit is cool. Like we love the fruit cups, but we really like to have something to drink. If we could have something to drink, that would be better. So that a light bulb went off in my head, and I told him, said, you know what we can do? We can go to Sam's Club and get those big Kool-Aid jugs, the big powder Kool-Aid, and we can pretty much sell drinks with fruit in it. So it'll be Kool-Aid with fruit in it. All right. So we trialed and errored this, and we started selling out every single time we hit the Columbia flea market. We was selling out. We had people coming to the flea market just to try our drinks. And not only did we, make good off the profit and a great idea, but it cut costs. We had to buy less fruit, So these 32-ounce cups we were selling, and we would sell out. Like I said, people would just come to the flea market to see what it was about. They started calling us the Kool-Aid boys, Shout out to Keith. Like I said, we was doing really good. And we done so well there that they had to change the rules of the flea market. So we was making more money than the vendors who was selling food. So the vendors started complaining, like, how these guys coming out here buying the table for $20 and they selling out every time, and we not even, we paying rent here. How are they able to do that? So then they changed the rules at the flea market, and they said the only way you can sell food products and on top of paying for your table is if you pay an additional, I think it was like $200 or something like that. So even though we was very successful with what we was doing, literally, when we left the flea market and you look around, all you saw was our cups on the ground from people, not dumping it in the trash or whatever. And it was like, on top of that, we got to do a lot of cleaning up behind these guys selling a lot. So we opted out of selling those drinks just because we was doing so well. They changed the rules on us. But we could have, took it into another avenue. We could have kept going. That was a glimpse of greatness. But they added that one roadblock, and we just changed directions, He got into his own business ventures. I got into my own business ventures, and we just split from that. But it was a great idea. We both had the vision of a millionaire because we was focused. At that time, I was kind of a loose cannon, and he kept me straight. Like, no, we can't go do this and that. We need to focus on, getting this money. We need to focus on getting this stuff straight. And, I listened to him, and he kept me on track. That's a good guy. But, that was another time I had a glimpse of greatness in my life to where I didn't, follow up on it. And like I said, I want to hear all of your stories. But I'm just telling you, I'm just giving you different examples of how whatever it is you decide to do in your life, you have to be consistent with. And with consistency comes success. And I'm not talking about that early success. I'm not talking about that, I bought a video game, so now I should stop. I'm not talking about that, I sold 10,000 CDs on top of performing in front of thousands of people, and yeah, I'm satisfied with that. I'm not talking about that. Oh, every time I hit the flea market, we selling out, and we coming out with thousands of dollars from just selling fruit drinks, and that's it. I'm talking about the type of success that changes your life, the vision of a millionaire. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I want you to have. All right. And just recently, I just got introduced to the stock market, and I thought I was the best thing smoking in the stock market because I made thousands of dollars on returns, right? Picking the right stock, making the right plays. But on the contrary, I've lost a lot of money picking stocks, playing stocks, because that's the nature of the game. There was a point of time to where I said, why, and people ask me constantly, why are you even working? You're so good at this. Like, why are you doing this? But that was just a glimpse of greatness because I didn't have the fundamentals of how it works. If I would have took my time to learn the fundamentals and build it from scratch instead of seeing early success and thinking that this is it, then, maybe there would be the avenue for me. But it didn't work out the way, I would imagine it working out, because it's just like in anything, and I want to be very frank with you. There is nothing in this world that you're going to enter into and be great at without practice, without putting work in, without constantly learning. Nothing in this world. That means pick what you want to do, find out who you want to be, and harness that person into having the vision of a millionaire. Then and only then can you be successful. Okay? So, and I'm going to leave you with this last example of a glimpse of greatness. And I got a video on it that you can go watch called The Inauguration of Success. One of my previous YouTube videos that you can go look at. And I was watching TV one day on Netflix, and they had like Lil B-Hop, that he's a boxer, and also Cam Newton was a boxer that was working pretty much in the Olympics or whatever, trying to get in the Olympics, trying to make it to the Olympics every year. And it inspired me to want to learn to box, and it's just that I'm such a big fan of boxing, but it's a whole nother thing when you get in that ring and watching it on the outside, talking about, well, I would have did this and I would have did that. But when I started off, I was 200 pounds, right? 200 pounds. I was, overweight and everything like that. And I wanted to compete at 147 pounds. So one day I woke up and I just said, I'm going to do this. I believe in myself. I'm going to do this. So from that day forward, I woke up, I trained every day, ran miles, put in work at the gym, even though I would get in the ring and get out the ring because I wasn't used to sparring, and I didn't want to get hit, but I kept going back. I kept learning. Next thing you know, I'm 190 pounds, I'm 180 pounds, I'm 170 pounds. Months later, I'm 150 pounds, and I was training to 147. All right. And then I get down to 147, and I registered as an amateur. I was a registered amateur. At the time, I was older, maybe like 30 at the time, a registered amateur. And I thought I had a match come October. And I set it up and everything and did all the training. And, this was going to be the fruits of my labor, because the average person is not going to be 200 pounds and make it down to 147. Now, this was a time span of, I say, about 7 months to a year that I accomplished this. I got it all documented. And, I thought I was ready for my match. People was coming. They was excited about it. The morning I went to weigh in, I weighed in and made weight and everything. And then the whole thing shifted on me. I was sitting down with the coach, and this was at a Augusta boxing gym. So yeah, I was sitting down with the coach and everything. Shout out to Ray in the Augusta boxing gym and everything they doing for the community, because there's a lot of good guys coming out of there, like Brian the Lion. You know what I'm saying? You know, forgive me if I can't remember names now, but I'm just talking about the youth, you know, the young guys. It's a lot of good guys, and he doing a lot of good things in the community and keeping those guys out the street. And they're in the boxing gym, and they really good at what they doing. You know, they constantly winning. So I sat down, and we was looking at who they could match me against, and it was 16-year-old, 17-year-old, you know, young kids. And I was looking at myself, and coach was like, yeah, you know, you're a 30-year-old man. I don't know. I don't know if I really want to match you against these guys. And I'm like, I don't really want to be matched against these guys, because I don't know how I would feel if a 30-year-old man was in the ring with these kids. But at the same time, these kids will knock you out. You know, so how would you look if you in the ring and you're a 30-year-old man and you knocked out by a 16-year-old? You know, so once we sat down and looked at the matchups, for me, it was like, man, this don't even make sense to me. Like, I spent all this time doing all this training, made it down to this weight, and I don't even want to compete with these kids, you know, because they start out young in the amateurs. Now, I'm pretty sure if I would have stuck around to see what other matchups there was some guys out there probably that was at 47 that was, you know, at my weight, or at my age or whatever, if I would have stuck around. But that just discouraged me so much that I just stopped going. And I stopped doing everything. But that was a glimpse of greatness in my life, to where the things that I did gain was the consistency. You know, I gained the health. I gained the mindset that anything that I set my mind to, I can accomplish. Even though I never got to compete. So I'm 0-0, you know, and I don't plan on competing at this point in my life. But I gained a whole lot from that experience. From the sparring to the, you know, facing my fears and going in the ring and getting hit, and, you know, AB telling me, you know, you got to stay in there sometime and take a behind whooping, you know what I'm saying? You know, I learned a lot. I definitely learned a lot. So you have to capitalize on these glimpses of greatness and make sure that you're consistent. Don't give up when you get hit. Fair exchange is no robbery. So you can't give up. You got to keep going. You got to keep pushing. But just make sure the thing that you're doing is what you have in your heart and not what somebody else is pushing you up to do. You know, I really just wanted to have this conversation with you, family, because this is just a glare of the vision of a millionaire. So therefore, whatever it is you decide to do, keep pushing, keep hustling, keep grinding. You can do it. I believe in you. And just make sure you pray. Make sure you pray. You got to keep God in your corner, because God won't give you nothing that you can't handle. So just remember that. Peace.
Visions of a millionaire visions, millionaire intentions, making millionaire decisions. I done bossed up, came up off my lost luck. Knowledge, power, how much did it cost us?